So this morning I flushed all the commodes and let all the water out of the tub. And so everything seems to be running. I'm going to continue to bury everything because it seems to be working. But
Yes.
This is my emergency runoff thing. So I'm trying to make it where if it ever gets up that high again, instead of running under the house, it'll run out here into its own leach field.
Right, right.
And while we fix that, which should be easy to fix from now on.
Yes, yes,
It shouldn't break.
yes.
No reason for it to. Okay, so remember the grates from under the house?
Yes.
Okay, so I don't want a bunch of crap getting down in where that, because I want it to drain.
Right.
So I'm going to put these grates over the top of my pipe, and then I'm going to put the rest of the rocks in there,
Yes.
and then I'll show you what I'm going to do.
That will be awesome.
Okay. All right. So I got those grates in there. Got them sitting on rock up. I've got the rock loosely in there so that the water can flow, blah, 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 blah. Now I'm going to take another piece of the weed cloth and put right over the grate. Then I'm going to fold down the sides over my rock field. Okay? Then, though, I'm going to do something I think is super clever. All right, so here I have a block. So I'm going to take the block and put it on top of where the grate is, where the pipe comes out, so that if for any reason the water ever doesn't flow, the block should be sticking up enough out of the ground. In fact, I'm going to put some rocks under it. The rock should be sticking up, the block should be sticking up enough that we know all we got to do is pick that up. And right underneath there will be what we need to clean up. Right?
Right.
Right. Right. Everybody say right. Right. Okay, so in order to do that, I want it to be a little bit higher because you know as well as I do that the dirt will wash in. So I want to make it a little bit higher, so I'm going to pick it up with some rocks. And that's easy enough to do. I just stick a couple of rocks on top of the grate like so. That raises it just enough, hopefully. And get another one, put over there, and that should do it. And that way, if it ever does it, we'll know that's where we dig down to get into the end, right? That one doesn't go there, that one goes there. There we go, this one goes here. There we go. Well, that's much better. Why'd you tell me to do it that other way, Zeb?
What?
All right, now it's just filling it in, so thank you. Okay, so, ta-da-da-da! We're finished.
Finished with what?
Finished with the freaking septic system. The leach
What
field.
septic system? I can't
The
see
leach field
anything.
is like, what? I see nothing. Okay, so why is it humped up like that? So let me tell you why. Because the dirt's going to pack over time, and even though I have a giant tank in there and all that rock, when you dig dirt out, it goes from being super compacted to being very aerated. So even though even though there's a tank and all that rock and everything else in there, when this settles, it'll probably only be a small hump. I want a small hump because I don't want it to fill with groundwater when it rains. So that's part of it. As you can see, we've got this worked really well. You can see we've got a clean out here. And because we built the collar years ago, we have a clean out there as we always have. So, well, since I built the collar. But you can see that's a giant hump. It won't be, give it months. Another thing, here's a hack I wish I had done that you should do. When you're digging a big ass hole and you know you're gonna have to move the dirt, mow the grass first.
Mow it, mow it,
Mow it, because getting that last bit of dirt when the grass was this long and you put it was a mess. So mow it. Okay, while we were doing this morning, we burnt a ginormous bonfire because we finally can, because we've had that much rain lately. Of course, after I dug this out, it also got rained on. Okay, so I burnt a giant bonfire to get rid of all the garbage, trash, and the brush, because I first had to cut all the tree limbs off of that. Okay, so now I'm going to give you an extra today. So you might have heard about biochar for your gardens and for your pastures. That's how you make biochar. Instead of letting it go all the way to ash, you let it burn down to a nice bunch of coals. Then you hit them with enough water that they stop burning. And when they stop burning, they make biochar. Get it close up. But yeah, you gotta pour enough water on it though. I'm gonna pour more water than that. Because believe it or not, that could still take off. You gotta, as long as it's doing that, you gotta do it till it's not smoking anymore. But at any rate, so yeah, that's how we make all the biochar that we put all over our pastures and everything. That's going to give us a nice bunch of biochar. When it's all chilled and cooled and everything, I'll spread it over most of this pasture. So, until next time, I hope you never have to do what I just had to do. But if you do, you can do it. And of course, if you don't want to wait, why are you getting such a close-up? Look at my nose. What?
I'm not.
So, in case you're wondering what you do if you don't want to wait to see what it's going to look like when it packs down, you just run your tractor over it half a dozen times. Also, it dawned on me, I need to tell you, because some of you are smarter than other ones. If you pour that water on that fire at the wrong time, or if you're too close, the steam off of it will burn your face off.